I survived over 1,000 days in half-hearted hardcore. I used totems. I fought a wither. I completed all advancements. And I jumped in lava, I guess. Stronghold number 3. I just jumped in here. I just jumped in here instead of lighting the portal first. Here's the full tour. It's finally time. Welcome to the Half-Hearted Hardcore World Tour. It's way late. It was supposed to be at 1,000 days. We're actually over 1,300 days now. So yeah, it's way late. So a few things I want to mention before we get into it is the Datapacks on the world. Obviously the first one is Half-Hearted Hardcore. Slicedlime first of all made this Datapack for Half-Hearted Hardcore, but also was the original inspiration for me to play Half-Hearted Hardcore. So a huge shout out to Slicedlime there. All the other Datapacks are by Vanilla Tweaks, so you will see armor stands and more mob heads in the world. That's both from Vanilla Tweaks. Then there is also silence mobs, so I can silence mobs with name tags. You will also see that being used. And the last one is no enderman griefing. That's the Datapacks. And resource packs are all also from Vanilla Tweaks or made by the community. And that's about it. There's also shaders, as you can see. Those are complementary shaders, heavily tweaked. I'll also leave a description in the video description to a tutorial by S24 Ryan that I followed. But yeah, that's about it. Let's get into it. First of all, this is my storage room. Kind of the entrance of my base, or one of the entrances now. Initially I found this village. There used to be a village here. We tore it all down and now there's only a few villagers left. Initially I found this village here and then I saw this cave. And I really wanted to build something inside of this cave opening here. So the first thing I built was the sugarcane farm. The ceiling is inspired by what the Frog Queen did on the Legacy SMP. Sugarcane farm just to provide me with paper. It's more than good enough for single player. Here is the storage room. And yeah, again, same ceiling. We did the bee farm here in the floor. Seems to be a pretty nice feature of the room to have the bee farm in the floor there and always see the bees doing their thing. And down here is all the honey and all the honeycomb end up in. So yeah, it's nice to actually watch them do their thing and make sure they don't escape when you visit that. So yeah, here's a bunch of manual storage. That's what I tend to go for early game and mid game. It's just a wall of chests with a bunch of categories. And there's something else I tried for this world, and I'm not sure if I will build this again, but I built these shulker box interfaces. So each of those have a topic. Let's say here I have crops, and then when I want, for example, some moss items, I would just throw down the shulker and scroll through it and get the next shulker. And yeah, it's like an interface to interact with different shulkers. It's nice. I like the idea. I'm not sure if I will build it again though. It's or if I should just do a bigger chest wall next time. I just wanted to try something new for once. But yeah, that's the storage room. If we continue down here, we have a charged creeper pet on the right and on the left. They don't really have a name, but I feel like they make for nice decoration as you walk down the stairs here towards the sheep farm. There's one of each color of sheep in there, and they just walk around, and whenever they feel like it, they walk over the pressure plates and get sheared. There's like shears in the dispensers. There's minecarts underneath, and all the drops end up here. It's obviously not that efficient, but it's nice to watch. Over there we have Pink Temperance taking care of our sheep, one of the Twitch community members. Over here we got my brewing area. We got Dead Fox and Maddie Rocco here taking care of my potions. And yeah, what I have here is an automatic water bottle refilling behind it. So whenever that is exactly what I meant to do. Whenever I take bottles out, new ones get restocked automatically and the dispenser refills them. And here I have all the ingredients I need for potion brewing. So yeah, that's the little starter potion brewing setup. It's a good start in every world to have like 3 brewing stands with the water bottle refilling. It's always nice to have. Here we have the Russian Roulette, which is one of the channel point redemptions on Twitch. Here's the Nether portal. We'll get back to that in a minute. There's a pumpkin farm behind this wall as well. We needed that for the Witherskelly Farm, which we'll get to later. And now it's completely overflowing, so I'll probably get a bunch of farmers to produce some emeralds. Because right now it's just doing nothing because the chests have been full forever now. We'll get down there in a minute as well. Here is my control room. And yeah, that was one of the ideas I had for this base. Also, another farm hidden in the floor, the cactus farm here. It keeps getting called carrot farm by the Twitch chat, but I honestly have to agree, it looks like carrots. But yeah, that's a cactus farm here, just for cyan and green dye and lime dye. All this stuff goes in here. But yeah, this is the control room, and the idea here is to have 8 farms connected to this control panel here. So the carrot, you can flip the carrot and then interact with the farms it's selected. And then the corresponding lights turn on. So right now the first farm I have connected is the creeper farm. I can turn that on, and then the creeper farm light turns on, and the lights here in the center always show what's currently selected. So now farm number 2, there's nothing connected here yet, is turned off. So the light in the middle here is turned off too, but we can see here that farm number 1 is currently on. And yeah, all the items from the creeper farm go here. Shulker loaded, gunpowder. And yeah, there'll be 7 more farms just around the area, around the base. All controlled from here. That's something I wanted to do for a while now. And finally got to do it. I can show you the redstone in a bit. Then here is my bulk storage. We got Boyan over here just looking at unlocked hoppers. He loves those unlocked hoppers. So yeah, he's just looking at an unlocked hopper all day. He's really enjoying that. And yeah, here I got my bulk storage. All the stone types here, and then some extra stuff like gravel, dirt, grass, and netherrack all get sorted into shulker boxes here. And when a shulker box fills up, it just goes into the chest here, corresponding to where the filter is. And yeah, here's the input for shulker boxes full of stone, and here is input for empty shulkers that the system can load into it. There's some overflow as well, with a lot of other stuff we don't sort. But yeah, that's just a nice to have, I think, when you do a lot of digging and just end up with a lot of stone you don't want to throw away. I'm definitely a hoarder in this game, so yeah, it's nice to keep that stuff and then actually load it into shulkers. It's my own design. I can quickly show you the bulk storage here. It's, you can't really see it from the side, but it's a row of filters at the top, and then row of filters at the top there. And then at the bottom here is the shulker loading and transport for the full shulker boxes. But yeah, that's about it. There's not much to it. It's a very simple design. And over here is the control panel, the redstone for the control panel, which is a very, well, at least a little bit over-engineered red coder. I've been told that's what it's called. I've made this for a different project I made in Creative initially, and the way I used it here has some extra features in there, has some extra logic in there to make it work with the individual displays as well. So you saw the light for the creeper farm turn on even when we flip the carrot, and to have that work, there's some additional logic in there. And yeah, we split it apart like this. It would be one wide tileable, but we split it to left, right like this to wire it up easier to the chests to the left and right of the control panel. But yeah, that's the redstone behind the bulk storage and the control panel. And yeah, when we continue down here, we have this corridor that goes further down. I wanted to have this whole base underground since I haven't done that in years. And I really wanted to do an underground build again. So I keep having the ends of my corridors like this, so I can keep expanding it, make new corridors, make new places inside the base. But yeah, if we go to the left here, we'll see the newest project that's complete, and that is the Cleric trading hall. So I do have ianxofour stacking raid farm. The thing about that is, it's really good, and in my opinion it's too good, and I feel like it's overpowered. So I want to get my redstone from Clerics instead of from the stacking raid farm. So the way this works here is, here we have emeralds, and I can hit this note block, and then 4 Clerics will jump towards us like this. And yeah, we can trade with them and then send them back. It's obviously not very fast, if you have to wait for them to arrive, but it's fun. It's a fun design. We can just trade for a redstone, send them back, they will return to the slots they came from, and then we can call for the next ones. And yeah, I had fun building this. I feel like it's a fun little feature to have them jump towards you. Oh, we can't trigger it. We can't trigger it when this guy's still here. That's the safety. We gotta send him back, and then I can call for the next ones. There you go. That was a safety feature I forgot about. See, I would have messed it up if I didn't have that safety feature. But yeah, that's how I get my redstone. And yeah, you can see the first ones are all back where they came from. So yeah, that's the Cleric trading hall. again with a dead end corridor, so we can expand that, and there's also space over here we can add stuff to. Back in the control room here, when we go opposite of the bulk storage there's the staircase out, and that goes to the surface. And straight ahead here is the actual creeper farm that we turned on earlier. So you can see here we got some decorational shulker bullets. It just make for a nice animated feature here. And inside here is the creeper. It's like a laboratory research hangar here. We got our gas pet here. He's our friend. He doesn't attack us. He likes us. And yeah, that's the creeper farm. Has a bunch of extra features. Up there we got Stromner as well. He's escaping with one of the shulkers that I'm about to show you. He's saving one of his shulker friends. But only one. He can't save them all. And over here we got Chokekiller. Chokekiller is conducting some research on this creeper head. But yeah, let me show you what this creeper farm is all about. So right now it's running as we turned it on earlier. And we can turn on the shulker gun here, which you cannot miss. It's so loud that you'll immediately know when it's running. Any second now. There you go. So we're gonna turn that down for a little bit. And yeah, you will see some flying creepers pop up here in a minute. Let me get my looting sword. And once we see some flying creepers, we can just flick the other lever and start spamming here. And then we can shoot creepers with gas balls. And it's a fun little mini game. You can also do it with the bow. But yeah, it's more fun with the gas ball. So yeah, this guy tries to shoot at us. But he's kind of bad at aiming. He's just really bad at aiming. So yeah, that's the gas cannon for the creeper farm. It's just a fun little mini game. You can run it without shooting and without shulkers as well. And then at that point they just die to a magma block, and all the gunpowder still just all gets collected into a shulker box. I can show you the redstone behind it. It's not that crazy other than the shulker gun itself. So up there you see shifting floors. All the creepers fall down. They get flushed into corridors here. Those corridors are mob conveyors. So you can see the pistons down there. Transport all the creepers to one spot. So no matter where they are, they will all end up. You can see them drop in there and be transported really fast. They will all end up in a water channel down here. Well, in this water column. And right now when the shulker gun is turned off, they just get sucked down into a magma block here and die there. And the items get collected. And if we turn on the shulker gun, the soul sand gets pushed in. And the creepers arrive up here in... all the way up here. Inside this chamber here. And down there is 23 shulkers that all shoot. Up there is an aggro shulker. You can see it up there. And... yeah, all those together then start shooting, filling this chamber with shulker bullets. The creepers get hit and then float up into the room. All the items end up here in shulker boxes. And yeah, when a shulker box fills up, it gets broken and transported to the control room. So yeah, that is the creeper minigame where we can make them fly and then shoot them. Shout out to Fairly Hard, who designed this shulker gun. He's another member of the community. And I slightly modified it here. But the base design is by him, and all the science behind how shulker aggro works. There's a lot of good videos by Ending Credits on Ending Credits YouTube channel, so I will link that as well. It's a great insight on how shulkers work. And while we're down here, here's also the backside of the Cleric trading hall. So yeah, all the redstone you see here is just for distributing the clerics back to where they came from. So when we send them back, they end up in the right stalls. That's all the stuff up there. And yeah, this stuff down here is the sequence to send 4 at a time whenever we call for them. So you saw how it was always 4. That's that sequence down there. And yeah, the build for this, as you saw, is this research laboratory hangar. And it is getting blown up by a creeper statue. So this creeper is mid-explosion. He's trying to blow up the hangar. But the Arch-Illager from Minecraft Dungeons came into this world, and he's casting a spell. And he's freezing that creeper in time. Casting a spell over here. And yeah, freezing that creeper in time. So it doesn't blow up our creeper farm. So he's saving us. Maybe the Arch-Illager wasn't the bad guy. I'm just saying, maybe the Arch-Illager wasn't that bad after all. While we're out here, I can show you this whole area, when I fly up here, you will see this whole island. You can see we all lit it up with torches. We torch spammed the whole thing. It's mostly covered in beacon effects now. There's still some spot areas missing over here and over here where we don't have beacon effects, but we'll get it all covered as well. Most of the caves are lit up as well. We spent a lot of time with that. So it's a pretty safe area. Beacon effects almost everywhere. All lit up on the surface, as well as possible lit up underground. So yeah, it's a pretty safe area to be in, even with half a heart. As long as I didn't do anything stupid, which will probably happen, or usually happens all the time actually. But yeah, here's another staircase that I didn't show earlier. It just goes nowhere right now, but I'll definitely build some paths and roads. But while we're up here, the other part of the island is over here, and that is just a bunch of temporary setups. I will definitely make this area prettier, but yeah, as you can see, there's all the podzol and birch from all the wood farming. Here's my initial enchantment table, my horse before I got the wings, all that kind of stuff that we still need to clean up. Here's the villager breeder. So yeah, it's a very simple setup. 4 farmers in there. They have beds over here, and then they just breed more villagers. Then over here, this was my initial base. There used to be chests here before we moved down into the cave over there. You can see still some workstations around. My original bed. And then here we're breeding foxes for no particular mob-heady reason at all. Here I have a little furnace setup with 8 furnaces. Over here we have some channel point redemption stuff you can redeem when you're in the Twitch channel. So here's a heart for the chat. It's a bouncy slime heart. And right here is the cyan versus birch prediction. Here we have Chester, who is trying to rig it towards the cyan because he always puts his points on cyan, but yeah, he's really kind of bad at rigging it. So he's trying though, but this is all about taking 3 chorus fruit, sitting in the middle, and then eating it, and best of 3 wins if I land on either cyan or birch blocks. So yeah, this is a 17 by 17 grid for that. And if we continue down this walkway here, there's like a little path here. We have a few temporary farms over here, like a pumpkin farm. There used to be chickens around here. I think we got a fox in the hen house, quite literally. And if we go down here to the left, here I got a bunch of animal enclosures. So here we got a fox that's running wild apparently. We got the turtles that initially gave me the turtle helmet. We got a strider that we brought to the old world for the advancement. And we got the brown pandas. We found a brown panda naturally, and we got another panda over here. This guy. And yeah, now we got a bunch of brown pandas here. And then down here is a villager trading setup. There used to be clerics here. I don't know what happened to them. I don't know. They just kind of they're no longer with us. I think they left. Yeah, if we continue down here, we got our iron farm, which I just improvised. I didn't do any creative testing. I didn't follow any design. I just threw it together here. There's 4 pods. There's 2 over here. There's 2 over there. It's not perfect. The line of sight isn't properly set up, so at night I don't think it produces much iron at night. But yeah, it's fine. It's more than good enough. It all gets loaded into shulkers. All the shulkers end up here, and yeah, as you can see, I got so many poppies and iron ingots here. It's all good, and thanks to Cloudy Hook right here. Yeah, Cloudy Hook is looking after all the iron supply. So yeah, it's more than good enough for a single player world. There's one more thing just offshore. If we fly out here, there's 2 raid farms. There's the initial one I built. That's another one where, same with the iron farm, I didn't follow any creative design. I didn't follow any other design, no testing. I just built it here in hardcore, and just trying to make my knowledge of like game mechanics into a farm, and it worked initially. We have it glassed off now because we have the stacking raid farm next to it. But it worked initially for the first few totems I got. It gave me my first totem. It also took away my first totem. Okay, nope. So yeah, that was a fun little adventure, I guess, because it is a bit scary just making a raid farm without testing. But yeah, it worked. We initially fought like 2 or 3 raids here before I ended up over here with ianxofour's stacking raid farm. We made it look overgrown. As you can see, there's vines growing down and all the mossy cobble and all the plants and stuff. I mostly followed his design, so for the base farm, I definitely followed his design. I did my own item collection down here. So there's this room in here for all the item collection. Again, as I said earlier with the Cleric trading hall, I'm not going to be using this anymore, because in my opinion it's too strong. I've built this here for the first time. I've used it also on the Legacy SMP, the one that Thomas built. But here's the first time I really got to see the design and how good it actually is. And yeah, I think it's too good. I will use the resources that are still here, but yeah, all the gunpowder, redstone, emeralds, they're all used up here. There's still some totems left that I'll be using. But yeah, I won't be using it anymore for redstone and stuff, because I feel like it's just too good. It's broken in my opinion. So yeah, I won't be using it anymore. There's a few modifications I made. So the first one is this one. I think Ian shows it in his video as well, but Fairly Hard gave me some ideas for this. For the metronome clock, since I don't use auto clickers, it gives you a rhythm for how often you have to click the armor stand to have the farm running properly. And there's also a safety feature, and that is down here, is under this carpet is a hopper, and when something goes wrong, like for example the armor stand breaking, or anything goes wrong and I drop an item, it immediately turns off this torch with a comparator that reads that hopper there, and turns it off, and there's an instant repeater line here. And this instant repeater line, I can actually demonstrate it, I'm sure there's an ender pearl there. It just teleports me out instantly, and it also connects the metronome clock to the farm itself, so it keeps running while I am outside of the mob spawning range. So it will clear itself from hostile mobs while I'm over here, and yeah, it will stop itself over there while I am far enough away to not be followed by vexes or anything that could be dangerous. So yeah, that's a safety feature to instantly teleport me out. I would highly recommend setting up something like this for this farm if you are in hardcore, even with 10 hearts, because this farm can be scary. That's ianxofour's stacking raid farm. That was nice to use, but again, too good. Won't be using it anymore. Now we're back down here in the base at the nether portal, so I'll show you what is going on in the nether. So usually I don't like using the nether roof for much, especially not for farms. The reason why I use it in Hearted Hardcore is because, especially early game, it's very dangerous out in the open nether. We had a crimson forest nether spawn here, you will see in a minute. And yeah, I moved the portal up to the roof to be safer. But yeah, it's also useful for the gold farm, for example. And a lot of mob transportation has happened in the past, and for that the nether roof is really practical. I think in a normal hardcore world I wouldn't use it. I haven't used it in my previous hardcore worlds. For the half-hearted hardcore I do use it. The first thing I want to show you here is the gold farm, again by ianxofour. That's chunk loaders, by the way, for the creeper farm, so the creeper farm doesn't break when we go to the nether. And yeah, here's ianxofour's gold farm. Well, the farm itself is actually kind of under the bedrock ceiling, but they go to the overworld and come back out here. I made my own item collection because I don't like the way Ian has it in his tutorial where it's all sorted in inventory. Well, that is a really nice setup for early game. I wanted to have a more permanent setup here. So yeah, if I turn this on, you will see the items get pushed over, pushed down, and then go over to these sorters here. And we filter out the golden nuggets. We filter out golden ingots right here. And the rest gets put into the fire there. And yeah, you can see some piglins arriving here. Yeah, that's all there is to it. I will add some more spawning layers to that. I will want to upgrade it, but it's really good for all the golden apples I need, all the powder rails I need. And we got Not Your Granny here, getting ready to slice up some pigmen. Next thing I want to show here is over here. That is my portal to spawn. In this world we had a very interesting spawn. It is matching 0-0 and center spawn chunk. So I've never seen that before. What we have here is the nether side to a mob switch. I'll show you the overworld side in a minute, and the mob switch. But yeah, that's all here at spawn. So the mob switch is actually in spawn chunks. There's also a chunk loader up there to make the nether mob switch work. But if we go through this portal, we end up in the spawn chunks. There's not too much going on here yet. I do want to build more stuff here. But yeah, here's the block I talked about. That is 0-0 and center spawn chunks, both on the same block. I've never seen that before. Makes it very useful for getting shulkers into the overworld. As I was saying, with the mob switch in the overworld is here at the edge of the spawn chunks. It is just about 70. It's more than 70 now because a bunch of them picked up eggs. Because we got a chicken on the nether roof that gave him a bunch of eggs. So you see a bunch of them not counted the mob cave anymore. But we got a bunch of extra villagers in there. And yeah, it's all zombified clerics. Right now it is disabled. So you can see here's a chunk border. There's the edge of the spawn chunks. And right now they're out of the spawn chunks. I don't want to have it turned on all the time. Because I don't want to play in peaceful. Like, I do like fighting hostile mobs and having the threat of hostile mobs. I will only turn it on as a tool for building certain things. For example, I turned it on in the Nether when I built a Witherskelly Farm. I will show you in a minute. If I will ever build a Guardian Farm, I would turn it on. But I don't play with it turned on permanently. I feel like that makes the game too boring. There's also this where we can raise up the floor here and bring them all to the nether through this portal. Yeah, but it's turned off most of the time. I only use it as a tool to make certain things possible that would otherwise be almost impossible with half a heart. Over here is where we did How Did We Get Here? So as I mentioned in the intro, we got all advancements and this is where we finished it. So here we got all advancements done, including How Did We Get Here? The hardest one in my opinion, monsters hunted, and yeah, all the advancements done here. And this is where we finished it. So we got the How Did We Get Here set up here with the dolphins, with the conduit in there, if the dolphin goes out of the way. There is the dispenser for the spectral arrows. We have a shulker here that gave us levitation. It's named after Husker D, another Twitch community member. We got the potion dispenser, so I will put all my splash potions in there. Just stand here, just dispenses all the potions. And we also got our mining fatigue setup. So if I stand here and step on this pressure plate, we'll get mining fatigue. That was perfect timing, but it is an Elder Guardian. There you go, now he's here. He goes all the way down. He's 60 blocks under the floor usually, so he can't just randomly give us mining fatigue because the range is 50 blocks. And yeah, when I step on his pressure plate, he comes up and gives us mining fatigue. When I step off it, he goes back down. And yeah, that was really sketchy, getting an Elder Guardian pet. But yeah, it was a fun little adventure. Over here, we got a Shulker farm as well. It is currently broken. It is a not too stable design. There's a little modification I could make to have it not break, but we're more than good enough that we have a lot of shells there. It's a design by Dark. I will also link that in the description. All the chunk loaders I use are also the base design by Dark on the same YouTube channel. I modified them a little bit. I have the setup a little bit differently, but the base design is by Dark for those chunk loaders as well, and for this Shulker farm. You can see there's a rail here. The reason why I still go for this design, even though I know it can have issues sometimes, is because it's very easy to get live shulkers out here. And as you saw with the creeper farm, we got shulkers to do the decorational bullets. We got 24 shulkers in the creeper farm to make the creepers fly. So it's very nice to have this farm to get live shulkers into minecarts and transport them somewhere else. So this is the bridge that goes all the way over to the base, which is like 1500 blocks this way. Next thing I want to show you is a little off the side to all the other stuff in this world. And it is a very much failed project. So before I finished all advancements, I needed to get 8 Nautilus shells and a trident to get the conduit for How Did We Get Here and to get the trident for the trident advancements. And I thought, well, let's just improvise a drown farm. I've never built one before. I looked into the mechanics and I thought this would be enough spawning spaces to get significant drops from drowned. So it's above a river here. It's this cube. I think it's like 20 by 20 or something of water, downwards flowing water. And the drowned will go down to the bottom, and there's turtle eggs leading them into water elevators, bringing them all the way to the top. This is a complete and utter fail. It's so incredibly slow. It is not worth the time. I did get my trident here though. I got really lucky, and the first trident round from here gave me the trident, but no Nautilus shells at all. And yeah, spent an entire stream on that, thinking I could just improvise one and see that goes well. It did not. But yeah, the next thing over here is the end. I haven't built much in the end, obviously. As you can see, the portal room is still pretty rough. We got a little setup here, so we transported a few shulkers to the overworld so far. And this is a little setup. They would end up here in a minecart when you bring them through the gateways. And then I would just quickly place down rails and they would start moving towards the center. We got the arrows here greeting us in the end. Always very excited when we come to the end. Another Twitch community member, like all the other armor stands. And yeah, if we go up here, all you will see is 2 gateways that, excuse me, coming through. 2 gateways that have staircases up there, so that's 2 we used already. And there is a 3rd one we haven't gone through yet. Somewhere over there. There we go. We haven't gone through that one yet. There's a few obsidian pillars that are mined out like that for obsidian stuff like beacons and ender chests. And here in the center, we got, first of all, this setup to get shulker boxes into the overworld. So if you do a setup like this and have a shulker in a minecart arrive here, the activator rail will put it into the portal and it will end up in the spawn chunks in the overworld. And yeah, the other thing we have here is a Witherrose farm designed by ianxofour, yet again, link in the video description. And yeah, here I have a manual wither killing setup, so I will put skulls in here and then place the soul sand shape here and then just walk over this and kill the wither. And yeah, it's a nice setup to manually kill the wither as quick as possible. With a strength beacon, with a smite 5 axe, you just take care of like a stack of beacons very quickly. But yeah, that's it with the end. There's nothing built on the outer islands. I don't have an enderman farm since I have other XP sources. And since I can't really use ender pearls anyways, which is something I miss a lot, since I usually use ender pearls for building a lot. The next thing is a slime farm here in the swamp. So it's a swamp farm where the slime end up in the nether here. The big ones get broken down by the lava. It's a very sketchy entrance. Since I see this as a temporary thing, I will definitely build a more permanent slime farm at some point around my base. That's for sure. But this got me going for all the slime I needed so far. So that's pretty nice. You just manually kill them here when they come out of the portal. And yeah, down there is a setup with a bunch of podzol and mushrooms. The bait, again, it's a modification to what ianxofour has on his channel. It's slightly modified with podzol floor and then brown mushrooms to give this whole platform light level of 1, which makes it so only slime can spawn. In the middle is an iron golem. They get lured through, and yeah, it works really well, especially on a full moon night. You get over a stack of slime blocks usually, which is a pretty good haul in my opinion. But yeah, I'll make a more permanent slime farming setup at some point around my base. But it's a good starter one. And here we are at my Witherskelly Farm, which is very far out, but it's the best fortress we found. It's in a warped forest. It is over 4,000 blocks out. But yeah, it is worth it to get a really good fortress. So yeah, if we just press this button, we'll fall down through the nether into the Witherskelly Farm room. You saw it there flying by. It's a design by TetraDB, another community member on Twitch. And yeah, it is incredibly good. It's a really cool design. I can show you parts of it in a second. But yeah, if I just turn on mob sounds all the way, I can show you the farm in action. We can take the smite sword here and turn it on. While it fires up, all the items get collected, get thrown over there, get loaded into shulker boxes. All the bones are here, all the coal goes here, and all the skulls go here. For all the beacons, you saw a lot of decorational beacons as light sources and stuff. And also all the beacon effects are kind of essential to stay alive. So yeah, for that it's really good. And yeah, that's about it. That's the farm. Again, designed by TetraDB. Sword named after him, Tetra. And yeah, let's turn it off again. And let me throw in the coal here. Yeah, you can see the items go out the back, get shot over, and then over to the sorters and get all loaded into shulker boxes over here. And all the drops arrive here. That's the farm itself. You can go back up here, the good old trusty minecart elevator. You can see here is the mob conveyors, similar to the ones I built in the creeper farm. I got those from this design. There's also pumpkin dispensers that make it so the wither skeletons that can pick up stuff get a pumpkin put on their head and immediately they get taken out of the mob cap. So there's a little bit of redstone here. It's not too complicated though. And yeah, up here is the spawning layers, Witherroses, piglins, load them into the center. And there's 3 layers of that. It's a double crossroads here. Yeah, you can see some skeletons in the back already going towards the piglins and falling down. The elevator here takes us all the way back to the nether roof. That's really all I wanted to show you. There's also statistics we can go over real quick. We had statistics reset due to my hard drive filling up because I was recording the streams. And that reset about 50 hours of playtime. And where is it? Times played. Time played is now this plus 50 hours. So around pushing 300 hours roughly. And yeah, the only other statistics I remember from before it reset was 5 totems used. So if we go to times used and scroll down, we will see how many totems I've used, and that would be around, it's exactly 60. So 55 plus the 5 that were reset, it's exactly 60 totems used so far. I don't know if there's anything else interesting in here, but yeah, I can scroll through this slowly. If you wanna see anything specific here, you can quickly pause the video and then you can see all those statistics as well if you're interested. With mobs killed, I'm not sure if there's anything interesting here. We got maybe the stuff from the stacking raid farm are just interestingly high numbers. Like for example, Vindicator, 12,000 Vindicators, 3.4k witches, 168 withers, almost 10k wither skeletons. That's probably the interesting stuff. But other than that, I don't think there's anything interesting in here, really. Yeah, that's probably about it. It also says 2 ender dragons here, but that is because we killed the first one again before the statistics reset. So you saw 3 gateways. 1 was before the statistics reset, and then 2 more to finish all advancements. Because the first time I forgot, you need a mint, which is the get Dragon's Breath advancement right here. And then when I killed the second dragon to get that, I remembered I also need Spyglass to get Is It a Plane. So we killed the dragon 3 times to get all the advancements, because I just forgot the Spyglass and the glass bottle the first time. That is all from me. Thank you all very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and have a wonderful rest of your day.